Keeping an eye on the tropics for us. Something brewing out there. Is it not there, Bill?
Tell you what, Rudy, there's a couple of things out there that's still at least a week away, but it is the middle of hurricane season, so we need to keep an eye on them. All right, let's take a look at the graphic. We are watching two disturbances in the tropics, one about to move into the Caribbean Sea, and one still way out in the Atlantic, closer to Africa than anything. But we'll call the first one number one and the second one number two. How about that? All right. So let's get to it. First of all, let's take a look at the spaghetti models for number one. And number one has a better chance of getting into the Gulf. You can see one model, which is the American model, taking it up near Cozumel, but the other two, which are pretty reliable models, the European model and the Canadian model, keep it moving basically due west towards Central America. Now, there's a lot can change between now and then. We're still a long way away, but that's an early indication of what can go on. So, tropical wave number one could get into the Gulf, or it could go to Mexico or Central America, but it is too soon to figure out what the impact will be or where the impact will be. The storm is still very unorganized. We'll have to watch and wait through later this week. Again, it's still a long way away. But again, we reiterate, use this week to review your hurricane emergency plans. So there you go. The number one has a 50% chance of development. Number two, a 70% chance of development. And the early indications are number two there in the red could eventually become the stronger of the two. KIIITV.com/weather. Click on Hurricane Central. I'll tell you very quickly, number two, the initial models take it either somewhere between Florida and the East Coast, where the number one could take it into Central America or the Gulf. So that's basically what we're looking at, a long way away. Hurricane season progress, we are still 3 weeks away from the peak of hurricane season and still looking at the forecast calling for a lot of activity. As we've been saying, there's a lot of activity still to come. 97 right now. Look at that. Winds out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour. Feel like temperatures not as bad today because we have a little bit of a drier air mass in place. And look at the futurecast, mainly clear this evening. We're looking at mainly dry tomorrow. Not going to rule out an isolated shower for a couple of us. And mostly sunny will be the forecast for Wednesday. But feel like temperatures not that bad. Still tomorrow, mostly sunny and hot. High temperature of 97. There are the highs tomorrow. Still lots of upper 90s and lower 100s, including 102 in George West. No advisories for the bays for the Gulf. Sun up at 7:02. We'll have a high tide 5:30 in the morning. And the 7-day forecast, not quite as hot later this week. Again, we'll take 92 over 97 and 98. But the big news, Rudy, is we continue to keep an eye on the tropics. We'll have an update at 6. Back to you.